Classic Aussie Comedy Comes to Eltham by Steve Saul. Eltham Little Theatre, ELT, hits the ground running for its first season in 2026 with the delightful Australian comedy Bondi Legal from February 20. Chosen by the ELT Play Selection Committee as a classic example of homegrown Aussie humour, with a style immediately familiar to anyone who has seen The Castle, this production is sure to delight audiences. Director Susan Rundle said it was great to be back directing in Eltham.
Particularly working with the fabulous Carol Owen, who is my stage manager, but is also using her creativity on props and set dressing, and the lovely Pam Ford on sound design. I've just realised this will be my 10th time directing at Eltham. Bondi Legal is written by Tony Lawnberg, who is a Sydney playwright and lawyer. I love directing plays written by emerging talented Australian playwrights, having had the privilege over the past few years of directing works by Emma Wood, Susie Wilds and Judy Dubas. This is a quirky, almost farcical story, but it has soul and is surprisingly based on a true story. When I first read the script, I laughed out loud at its very Aussie humour. It reminded me of the Erin Brockovich movie, but starring actors Bill Hunter and Brian Brown.
The story is about a nervous locum lawyer, Brad Pitt, who finds himself looking after the practice of a loud-mouthed Aussie lawyer, Frank. Brad finds himself in his own personal hell when he fronts up in court to face an aggressive corporate lawyer, an intimidating magistrate, and a series of specialist witnesses.
It is a joy to be working with this great cast, including Tony Clayton, Brian Richardson, and Yin Ingemels, with whom I've had the pleasure of working before, together with Jackson Langland, Hayley Martin and Tom Aston,
said Susan. As with all plays at ELT, patrons may purchase individual seats or tables of 6, at which they can enjoy their own snacks and drinks, which may also be purchased in the foyer from the friendly and helpful front-of-house staff. The only stipulation for table seating in these mixed seating shows is that the whole table must be booked. To book tickets, visit trybooking.com/DHKRI. This story was read by Rebecca Rose and Sandy Miller.